What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure you guys go ahead and do so. So as you know, it snowed the other day. We took out the Wrangler and the black Grand Cherokee. It's supposed to snow again tonight, so we're getting the blue Grand Cherokee ready for the snow. So as you guys know, this one broke the other day in the snow, and I don't really have time to fix it yet. So we're going to go ahead and get the other one done. I think it's something front end wise, possibly the ring and pinion. But since it's supposed to snow some more, I'm going to take the Wrangler out tomorrow. And this thing is absolutely filthy. I definitely have to clean it, but they're just putting more salt down. But you guys can see how filthy this thing is. It needs clean, but I'm going to wait till after it snows. But today, hopefully we'll get that hitch on. I'm not sure if we'll have enough time, honestly. If not, it's not a huge deal. Got to put a battery back in it, and then I had to put some straps on the drive shaft. So fortunately, I picked up an extra set of bolts and straps for the drive shaft since I did rob this Jeep of its parts the other day to get the black Jeep running. So we're going to go ahead and put these back on the drive shaft. Once these are on, we should have four-wheel drive again. That Jeep never had four-wheel drive, so we'll see how this does in the snow. It should do fairly well, honestly. Only downside is the tires are basically bald in the back, but that's why we'll have four-wheel drive, so it's not a huge deal. Then I'll either have to put the battery from the black Jeep in the blue Jeep or see if the old battery from the black Jeep will work in the blue Jeep. It might, honestly. That's what I'm going to try first. That way they all have batteries, but we'll see how that goes. So let's go ahead and get these straps put on here. That way this drive shaft is not going anywhere, because that would be terrible in the snow. Alright, so the straps are on. Drive shaft is now fully attached, so we don't have to worry about that as much. Next up is the battery. I'm going to try to take the old battery that was in this black Jeep and put it in the blue Jeep. That way they all have batteries and can get started and moved around in the driveway. Because this black Jeep will have to be pulled in the garage shortly, so that way we can figure out what we broke and what's wrong with it. Besides that, if the battery from the black Jeep doesn't work, we'll have to steal the battery. So let's go ahead and get the battery ready to go inside of this. Not much snow left in the hood, which is good. It's actually kind of warm today. Hopefully I don't take the battery out of the black Jeep, but if I do, I do. And so let's get this thing ready to go before it snows. That way we can enjoy the Grand Cherokee tomorrow. The Wrangler was a lot of fun in the snow, but I'm also interested to see how the Grand Cherokee does. The only thing I won't be able to get done is the swap on the tires, the 35s, but that's whatever. We'll get that taken care of soon. But let me go ahead and grab that battery. That way we can get this thrown in here and make sure the Jeep will start. It should. It's only been parked for like a week, so it hasn't really been sitting here for too long. And worst comes to worst, I'll take the battery out of the black Jeep and put it in the blue Jeep. Another thing is these tires are kind of low on tread, so hopefully they do all right in the snow. Worst case, we'll get the Wrangler, tow it out. All right, guys. So also a quick update on the black Jeep. I have a full rebuild coming for this Overland setup. As you guys can tell, it's kind of just been stuff thrown on it. Never finished painting it. And it kind of just needs a refresh and rebuild. So we'll be doing that soon, so you guys can expect to see a rebuild video on the Overland setup. That'll be pretty cool. I got a bunch of new tools that I want to put on it, so that'll be nice. Because my tool cart is overflowing with parts and tools and all kinds of stuff, and I just need to clean this up. Need to get the Overland setup going, so that way we can store some of the tools in the Jeep when I don't need it. I can always back it up to the garage when I need the tools out of it, so it'd be really nice to finish up. But let me go ahead, grab this battery, carry it over to the Jeep, and we'll see if this battery works. I'm not sure if it will, because this has been sitting in a dead Jeep for like a year and a half now. But if it doesn't, we'll just take the battery out of the black Jeep. Not a big deal. All right, so I got the battery put in, completely dead. So I'm gonna have to grab the battery charger, and I'm gonna throw it on charge for a little while, see if it'll even take a charge. If not, the battery might just be bad, and I might have to buy another one anyway. But it's worth a shot. Also, while I'm in here, I found these the other day, and I want to show you guys this. These are my spider gears out of the black Jeep from the time I blew it up. These things got chewed up and destroyed. These are terrible, but we did replace them. It was relatively simple, and it was pretty cheap. It was like 120 bucks or something. But these things got chewed up. I actually have these for some reason I saved, and those are out of the black Jeep. And then I also, for some reason, saved the ring and pinion out of my Wrangler. So I basically have a collection of broken gears, and we're about to have more if the front axle is broke on this one and it's a ring and pinion like I suspect. I'm not too worried about that because we're going to be doing the Wrangler axle swap anyway, so that'll have a new ring and pinion in it, and those are fine. I know that for a fact because I took it apart, but we'll worry about that when the time comes. I'm going to go ahead and throw this battery on charge. Alright, so the battery is taking a charge right now. It's very, very low, so we're just going to let it sit here for a little while, take a charge, figure everything out there, and see what it does if it wants to start later on. Let's see if this thing will turn on. Well, that actually worked very well. This is the old battery that was sitting in the black Jeep while it was dead for the last year and a half, and it took a charge, and I'm just going to let it run for a little while, charge up the battery some. Make sure everything's good on the Jeep and it's ready to go off-roading in the snow. And from there, we'll take it out into the little bit of snow that's left in the yard, get some pictures of it in the snow, get everything figured out there, see how it does in just a little bit of snow before we take it out in actual snow and ice tomorrow. And I think this will be a lot of fun to take out. The Wrangler was a lot of fun, but this will be a lot more cool. I'm actually enjoying the WJ a whole lot more than the Wrangler, just because it's more unique. So we got the Jeep moving, and it did fine, honestly. No issues here. I parked it here for pictures because there's still a little bit of snow, but it did pretty good, so I'm excited for the snow. The only downside is I did not get the 35s put on, so we'll have the Wrangler. That Jeep's going to be broke still, and we'll have the Wrangler and the Grand Cherokee, which should be a pretty cool lineup. Now I'm going to back this thing up and park it backed up so that way I can just go forward out of my driveway in the snow. It's so much easier that way, and that way I don't have to worry about getting stuck quite as bad, but hopefully that's not even an issue to worry about. The only downside is I do wish I got the 37s on it because these do rub still a little bit. I don't want to cut more because we're going down in tire size until the 1-tons are done, so I kind of want to leave it how it's cut now. So I do need to put those 35s on. I just have not gotten around to that. I'll probably do that in like the next week or so. If you guys do remember, we have those Radar 35, 1250, R17 tires ready to go on here. So I'm pretty excited to get those put on the Jeep. So I'm going to leave this Jeep on charge over like the next couple hours. That way, hopefully the battery will just take a little bit of a charge and it'll start fairly easy tomorrow. Probably won't. We'll probably have to jump start it in the morning in the snow, but it's worth a shot. I mean, it takes no effort. That Jeep also kind of needs a jump start in the morning because the battery's dying in that. So hopefully this thing's ready to go tomorrow. I think it's all good. And this thing should be a lot of fun in the snow. I'm actually about to start working on the 1-tons for it. And that should be really cool once we get some progress on that. It should be wider than the Wrangler, I believe. So that'll be really cool. It should be a sick Jeep once it's done. And I'm excited to get to work on the axles. I'm not exactly sure on timeframes for the parts to get here, but hopefully by the end of spring, they'll be ready to go under the Jeep. And as far as the Wrangler axles go for this one, they're also about ready to go in. Here's the Dana 44. That needs a truss welded to it and a couple little other things, and it should be good to put under the Jeep. Front axle already has a truss and it's basically ready. So this one, I guess, depends on what's wrong with the front end here. If it's a ring and pinion, we'll do that first. That way we can get the Jeep back up and running. Then 1-tons for this Jeep, and I'm so excited for this Jeep to be done. This one's going to be sick once it's finished. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get the hitch on today. It's getting pretty late, and I won't have time to do it, so I don't really want to take the Jeep apart and not be able to use it tomorrow. So I'll do that another day, not too worried about it. The Wrangler will be able to get us out anyway, and it's not supposed to be as much snow as it was the other day anyway, so I don't think we'll get too stuck. But that basically wraps up this video. So as always, guys, thanks so much for watching. Thanks for all the support on the videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one.